Welcome to On the Agenda, a recap of significant action taken during the most recent council meeting on May the 20th. 3 city council members took the oath of office and were sworn in after winning re-election or running unopposed in the most recent city council elections. Don Smith with District B, Robin Ellicat, District C, and Floyd Emery, District D, were sworn in by Municipal Court Judge Deborah Champagne and Federal Immigration Court Judge Clarice Yates from Missouri City. Council members also approved an ordinance for a special runoff election to be held June 15th for District A. Incumbent Bobby Marshall faces Yolanda Ford in that runoff. Polls will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Election Day. Residents who vote at City Hall are being reminded that due to the Juneteenth parade on June 15th, Texas Parkway will be closed to traffic beginning at 6 p.m. During the meeting, resident Roger Morris asked Council to consider continuing to locate the voting site for Harris County Precinct 506 at the Fondren Park Clubhouse, which he said would provide more parking space. The location has been changed to Colony Crossing Clubhouse for the runoff election. Mayor Owen stated that a sign would be posted at the Fondren Park Clubhouse to alert residents of the change in voting location for 1 week prior to the runoff election. Fire and Rescue Services recognized 3 Elkins High School employees who took action to save the life of their fellow employee and her then unborn child. Jennifer Longoria, Maxine Reeves, and June Tomlin, who are employed at the school as a nurse, clinic aide, and trainer respectively, were the first to provide CPR and other emergency aid to Erica Negrelli after she started having seizures on February the 15th.
Ladies, for your actions, Missouri City Fire and Rescue is presenting you the award of exemplary action is presented to Maxine Reeves, Jennifer Longoria, and June Tomlin for having distinguished yourselves through exemplary performance with your actions, the rapid initiation of life-saving techniques prior to the arrival of emergency responders.
Erica Negrelli, her husband, daughter, and family members later held a very emotional reunion with the fire and rescue personnel who responded to the emergency situation at the school.
Thank you, I got to be here. Thank you.
The Fire and Rescue Services and 911 dispatchers embraced Negrelli as she held her infant daughter, Elena Brady Lynn. She was later told that she was clinically dead when the baby was born.
Technically, they called this C-section a post-mortem C-section because I didn't have a heartbeat during it. But then it took them a couple of seconds, and then they went back to CPR with me. I have a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Essentially, it's called the athlete's heart. So when you hear about like 16 and 17-year-olds collapsing like on the football field or on basketball court, that's essentially what is
undetected. The first symptom
they go undetected.
Both parents are English teachers and coaches at Elkins High School. The women who came to her aid described what it was like and what they did to save her.
Just came flying in like, what? So
the secretary passed by and said, she's down. I grabbed the AED and took off running down the hall, and we did what we had to do.
And she was lying on the floor, having trouble breathing, and grabbed my arm and took her last breath, and we started immediately, and we were all together.
Negrelli's family members thanked the Fire and Rescue Services personnel who helped with the best possible outcome. The lives of mother and child were saved, and they will both go on to lead productive lives. Council members recognized the Finance Department for receiving the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the 26th straight year. The award from the Government Finance Officers Association was presented to the department for sound financial management and fiscal responsibility.
It's an effort, combined effort of all the departments. Without their cooperation and participation, we couldn't put the document together like it's done.
Council members honored Police Captain John Bailey on his retirement and for his more than 31 years of service to the city.
He has truly been an asset to our police department, and He's one of many of those people that kind of just started with us and has fulfilled his career with us. And I know that I speak on behalf of the rest of council and all the citizens. John, we wish you the best of luck in the future years and truly do appreciate your service to this community.
I've spent my most productive years here in Missouri City, serving our community, serving our council. I've worked with 2 mayors and 4 police chiefs, and it's truly been an honor to be here. To all of you, it's truly been an honor. Thank you.
Bailey was presented with a .40 caliber Glock and a clock for his many years of service. Mayor Alan Owen proclaimed the week of May the 25th through the 29th as National Public Works Week in Missouri City. Since 1960, the week has been recognized for the contribution of public works to residents' daily lives, including clean water, efficient traffic management, and clean communities.
I have to take my hat off to everybody here, but particularly the guys in blues and the fleet guys, the streets guys, because y'all do stuff every day that makes the city look good, and I thank you very, very much for that.
In addition, the city's fleet superintendent, Bobby Slusser, was recently named the Professional Manager of the Year for Public Fleets by the Texas Public Works Association. Council members also recognized the Fort Bend Express football teams for their accomplishments during the 2013 season. The organization provides a platform for middle school athletes to improve their football skills while developing the attributes that will help them become better men. The Express are members of the Houston Select Football League that plays from March through May each year.
Is to first create young men of character. So we want them to grow up and be productive, contributive citizens in society. And then second of all, we want them to be very good football players. So we prepare them for the next level of football and hopefully beyond. We consider Missouri City to be the heart of Fort Bend. I mean, where it's the epicenter that we like call, especially as far as we're concerned from a football perspective. So we call Missouri City home.
The all-volunteer nonprofit league was established in 2010 to give serious football players a chance to play against the best players in Houston and surrounding areas. And council members recognized Shane Botany, chairman of the Texas Association of Realtors, for his leadership in the real estate industry.
The importance of the real estate professional, whether in commercial or residential, you play a very important role, not only for the state, but for LVCD economy.
We're here to help preserve private property rights. And I'm all over the state. I've been honored all over the state, but what makes most important to me, that is from a city that I love.
A nonprofit entity, the Texas Association of Realtors' goals include elevating the standards of service and ethics in the real estate industry and providing statewide legislative advocacy for private property owners. And Mayor Owen presented city employee Robert Ruda with a special gift in recognition of his American citizenship. A flag that was flown over the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. at the request of Congressman Al Green was presented to Ruda in recognition of his citizenship on April the 24th. And council members approved a resolution to submit a grant application to the Justice Department to hire 5 additional police officers. The grant, if approved, would pay up to $125,000 per officer for 3 years. The city would cover any remaining funds. The city is required to retain any officers hired under the grant for a minimum of 12 months after the 3-year funding period ends. The city would be responsible for about $134,000 in the first year, about $57,000 in the second year, around $70,000 in the third year, and startup equipment costs for 2 officers totaling about $78,000. And council members approved a resolution to submit a grant to fund 2 part-time positions for the police department's crime victim liaison. Currently, the police department has 1 full-time crime victim liaison. The grant would cover 100% of the salaries of the 2 part-time employees at a rate of $15 an hour for no more than 20 hours a week. Councilmember Danny Wynn announced that he had attended a meeting of the Greater Houston Partnership, during which it was announced that direct flights will begin from Houston to Beijing, China, and that will further enhance economic opportunities throughout the Houston region. Mayor Owen announced that he and Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald held meetings with the area's congressional delegation and the Justice Department last week in Washington, D.C. on items that will affect Missouri City. He also announced the State of the City video is now on the city's website at missouricitytx.gov. Mayor Pro Tem Jerry Wyatt announced the first Missouri City doubles tennis tournament, sponsored by Republic Services, will be held June the 28th through June 30th at 6 p.m. at the city's Recreation and Tennis Center, 2701 Cypress Point Drive. Proceeds will benefit junior tennis. The tickets are $40 and a complimentary player's lunch will be served on Saturday, June 29th. Additional lunch tickets are $8. And that's what's on the agenda. The next regular meeting will be Monday, June the 3rd, and you can find a summary of all the council action on the website homepage under Council Connection.